Welcome back, my friends. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Thanks for watching the channel and the videos. Sometimes they go real fast and sometimes they're slow. Happy rails to you. Glad you're watching. Hi guys, welcome back. This is G-Man, My World 67. Hey, what you're looking at here is that Hopalong Cassidy figure and his horse that I mentioned in the last picture, the last video, I'm sorry. As you can see, the black paint is worn on it, badly on Hopalong Cassidy himself, and it's worn on Topper. I just put these ears on Topper. Both of these ears were broke off. I'm not finished with them yet. But I just, right before I started the camera, I set these, and I had to run off for a few minutes, so I thought it would be good. Go ahead and get them set, and then that way they'd be dry when I got back, and they're pretty much there. Okay, this one's still a little soft, so I'm not going to move it around too much. But we're going to come back to these ears. They're far from being finished because I want to reshape them a little more and just work them up and smooth them off. And then, as you can see, his tail is broken. Now, what I've done is I've taken a piece of this plastic, and this is coat hanger plastic, by the way. Get your plastic coat hangers. What I've done is I broke a loop, part of the hanger part of the plastic hanger off, and I cut it off, and then I kind of reshaped it just a little bit, and I took my grinder and I ground on it, and I'm still got to do a little more shaping to it, which I'll probably sand. I won't ground this time. I removed this portion here to here, and then I kind of cut it off, edged it off a little bit, and then took that and glued it down to the bottom side of it on this edge, so that to get my shape that I really wanted. And then I've covered it with, glued it together and covered it with this plastic putty, modeler's putty. And so it's drying. It's been drying for a while, and it's almost dry, not quite. And so we got that done. Also, I drilled a hole in the back here for the tail to actually go in place instead of gluing it onto it. That way the tail will actually become a part of the body and won't break off as easily. Okay, I'm going to reset the camera and we're going to get to work. Okay, I've got the camera reset. And here's that tail that I'm made and in the process of reshaping. Looks like it's drying up pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get this tail set. Now, in order to do that, we're going to use Tester's glue. I like using the Tester cement on most plastics. On the trains, you guys have seen me use it on the trains. You've seen me, and it holds up. It lasts for almost ever. And there's times when I have to use a different glue or a different cement. And I do. And I use super glue sometimes for certain things. But for repairs like these, Testers works great. And we're just going to fit that up in there. I want to make sure we get plenty of that glue around in that hole. Like that. And I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds, or about a minute, maybe. And then I'm going to put this in place. I might want to get a little more glue up in there. You don't want to use too much, but then you don't want to not have enough either. Well, this particular model or toy of topper has had a pretty well used or rough life. Broken ears, broken tail. I had to repair Hoppy's foot. I did this when I first got it quite a while back. We're going to get this tail in place, and then we're going to go ahead and start to work on these ears. I just want to form them up. I'll probably put a little bit of this putty on them to reform them more to the shape of what was actually there, make them a little fuller. I still haven't gone out to the shop and gotten trigger to put Roy on just to see how it looks. I had a elastic band, a gold elastic band that I was going to use on topper for the his leads running off of his stirrup. But I don't know what happened to it. I had it right here, and it may be pushed down inside my little tool thing here. The tool basket. So, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead now and we'll put a little bit more glue on this tail. I actually had the original tail for this, but I couldn't find it. It got put somewhere. There's been so much that's happened in the last 6 months. I lost track of a few things. No. I don't know what it is. Okay. And we work it inside there. And then I want to make sure that the tail is turned the way it needs to be. Then we'll let that sit for a little bit. And we'll go ahead and just let it sit in. Now, while it's setting, while we're waiting on it setting, I'm going to get my paint together so that I can go on and move to the paint when it's all done. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay. These ears, tail set up pretty good now, but these ears, just looking at it here, trim this one down just a little bit. Shoot-a-ba-doo. There we go. That's what I was trying to accomplish. And then I'm going to take my needle nose, and I would that I had my other ones, but I can't find them. My little narrow ones. Real needle nose. And I'm going to squeeze these right in the center a little bit to give them a little impression. Do it very carefully, not to disturb them, and not to yeah. That one still could sit up a little better, a little more. Now what I'm going to do, I'll take some glue. Our picture kind of got dark on us there. I'm going to take some glue and go on the back side of these ears. Just kind of build them up a little bit and give a little primer surface, if you will. For our plastic putty. And yes, we will be using plastic putty on these ears. Because they're otherwise flat. And they need to be filled out some. So we're going to let that sit just a moment. We'll go ahead and throw that one away. We've got tips. Oops. Put trash down my trash can and I don't have a bag in it yet, so I need to empty the bag. Now we get dry. And we got another tube of glue out, and we have some tips here. Oh, this is enough light. We're getting enough light down here. All right, we're going to go ahead, take our plastic putty. We're going to start spreading it on top of the glue. Just make a couple of globs. I find it feels better and lasts longer. Works a little better. When you use the glue on it first. And we just kind of take our fingers and just kind of press it down a little bit. Kind of form it to what we think it needs to be. can do the same on both sides. You don't want it flat. Just want it to cover. There we go. Okay, and then there you are. Factory defect right there. All right. So we're going to let that dry. While that's drying, that's all we need to do to that right now really is to sand it down the ears and the tail and clean it up a little bit, and it'll be ready to paint. Set it over here out of the way. All right, man. Guys and gals, I'm going to stop this video right there, and we'll pick it up on the next video. We're going to do Hopalong and get him painted up, and we'll go ahead and shape and clean up those ears and the tail on his horse topper, and get topper saddle painted, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned for part 2. All right, as I always say, if you enjoy working on your hobbies, enjoy working on your trains, rebuilding, customizing, running, operating, working on your layout, setting it up, changing it, scenery, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. If you have a hobby, other hobbies, and like I do, uh, and you want to repair and paint some things, whatever it is good. It's all right as long as you're uh, enjoying it, and maybe, just maybe, it might even be um, something else someone else can learn something from or by, or maybe they just might enjoy you doing it, your hobby. Whatever it is, you should have happy rails. You say, how can you have happy rails if your hobby's not trains? Well, you can't really have, uh, or you don't really have to have trains uh, to have happy rails. Happy rails is what you run on. Your trains run on tracks. All right, this is G Man. Um, Bye.